Welcome back, one and all, to a fascinating video over the 2021 1-ounce silver Somali Leopard coin. This is my second coin from Somalia. The first was over the classic and collectible Somali Elephant from my collection, which is one of the first coins I ordered when I started this channel last year. It was also a fun video to make, and I will link it in the description below just in case you want more information on Somalia or their silver. In the elephant video, we took a look at many parts of the Somali life in order to gauge the culture of the country so that we could accurately grade the significance of the coin. The information from that video is applicable as we grade today's coin in the Leopard. I will, however, gear this video today on the current climate of Somalia so that you get a relevant understanding of this country's culture. Let's start with the geography. For those of you who do not know, Somalia is one of many beautiful African nations. The country borders the Indian Ocean, and as you can see, it's just west of Ethiopia. This location has some features that make Somalia a little bit unique. Having an equatorial geography, an ocean, and a topography that peaks just under 2,500 meters, Somalia is subject to what we call a monsoon season. This is where there are very dry and hot parts of the year and very wet parts of the year. The northeast monsoon season is a rainy season that is from December to February, and the southwest monsoon is from May to October. Over the generations, the landscape has developed into mostly open plains, highlands, and brushland that is almost desert-like. There are some natural resources which cause geopolitical interest that we will get into later. The resources that Somalia sits on are thought to be uranium, iron, tin, gypsum, bauxite, copper, salt, natural gas, and likely oil. This being said, Somalia has a Wakanda-like upside if they could figure out a governing system that empowers its people. More on that in a second. 70% or so of the land in Somalia is thought to be used for agriculture, which could lead to overgrazing and causing some of the geographic desert situations. The more roots in the ground, the more healthy the soil. The real natural disaster situations are drought caused by seasonal rainfall totals being low, dust storms, and floods, which tend to happen when you have loose soil like Somalia. Erosion tends to be a problem. Somalia is a party to many international climate agreements, such as the Paris Climate Accords, but it has not yet ratified the nuclear test ban, though it has been signed. This can be a big issue internationally because they have uranium in decent enough amounts and have trade and diplomatic ties with many nations that host spotty records with nuclear and uranium-based programs. Somalia also has a huge strategic location being next to the Suez Canal, which is the highway for much of the world's oil. All of the mentioned items lead me to hope for a day where the dense resources groom large GDP entities such as the EU or USA to get more involved in helping set a strong economy in Somalia. Mogadishu is really the only identifiable city to many people outside of Africa, but maybe a world-class shipping harbor or international dollars and jobs would help Somalia be the shining city on a hill to other nations. Let's talk a little bit about the people now. This is a nation that hosts 12 million or so people, yet it's just a little bit smaller than Texas. The surprising breakdown in these numbers is that this underdeveloped country, there's only 85% of the population thought to be actual Somalians. There is a mix of about that 15% of its citizens that are non-Somali, which include a heavy Arabic population. The Arab population makes sense when you look into the nation's religion being the Sunni Islam variety. If you do not know what Sunni Islam is, or Shia Islam, that's a topic for another video, but basically both are followers of Muhammad but have differing ideas on who should be the leader of the Islamic faith. When it comes to humanitarian indicators, Somalia is quite low. The outsider's idea for this is corruption and failed or failing government bodies that lead to a low educational level and job rate amongst its population. Currently, 60% of the population is below 25 years old, and the fertility rate is ridiculous, with the average woman having 6 children. The lack of education and job opportunities lead to youth being recruited for extremist and pirate groups that cause much financial and physical harm to Somalians and other countries, including the USA. This is where the Somali pirates come from. If there's any questions about that, that's what you look to. You have young people that don't have any aspirations or ability to escape, and they get recruited by such organizations. As you can see in this chart, 40% of Somalians are younger than 15 years old. This brings a median age to 18 and a half years old. They host the 9th highest birth rate of any nation on earth, yet have the 17th highest death rate. Within those numbers is the maternal death rate, which is the 6th highest in the world. I just did a video over Barbados where the life expectancy was 78. Somalia's expectancy is 55 years old. That's not even old enough to retire in most countries, so it's literally working yourself to death. To add insult to injury, if you were to fall sick or get hurt, the odds of having a timely remedy to a medical situation would be low because there are 0.02 physicians for every 1,000 people. When it comes to food, this is a country where much of the land is used for agriculture, yet food scarcity is very high. On a positive note, Mogadishu has seen in recent years its first gas station and airport that actually travels to Turkey. The largest export country for Somalia is the United Arab Emirates, which, as we all know, has money enough to help Somalia out. Currently, only 2% of the population has internet access, so that might be a good place to start for infrastructure of industries. Here is my dream for Somalia. It would be awesome if it was possible within a couple of dominoes falling that the Abraham Accords, which is the trade that links Israel to the United Arab Emirates, opens doors for Somalia and Israel to eventually even the US becoming trade partners with Somalia in a way that forces their government to help develop infrastructure for its people. This looks like the US and others doing what they can to encourage development and education while we supply, let's say, food goods. The medical facilities would obviously need a boost, and the world's technology would need to lay roots, but if all of these things happened, Somalia could be a rags to riches story that could be the envy of Africa and many other nations. I find that Africa as a whole may be the most undervalued continent. There is so much rich culture, resources, and potential in Africa that I hope one day gets its day to shine. Now that you understand the country, let's talk silver. This coin is in line with many from the African wildlife series. It is to the point, professional, and beautiful. On the front of the coin, we are met with one of the great coats of arms of the world. We see 2 leopards holding up the shield and star. All of these symbols are explained more in depth in the elephant video, so if you want those, make sure to watch it. We have an appropriate border and excellent font. It scores a solid 7 out of 10. When we look at the back, it's almost like seeing an old friend. The familiarity of text, border, and font from the African wildlife series is undeniable. When we get to the artistic image, we see a beautiful leopard on a limb that is both appropriate and accurate to a wildlife setting, seeing as the leopard spends much of its time in trees where it often sleeps, eats, and ambushes prey. We also get an amazing depiction of the landscape with sparse acacia trees dotting the savanna grasses, eventually met by a set of elevated rocky outcrops, all basking under the summer sun. I score the back a solid 9. When it comes to mintage, this coin comes in with a much more desirable mintage than the elephant coin. The mintage on this coin is 30,000, which is a solid number for most collectors and gives this leopard a score of 8 out of 10. Now for cultural significance. As you saw on the front of the coin, the coat of arms has not 1 but 2 leopards holding up the shield and colors of Somalia. Many coats of arms have 2 separate animals, but Somalia stuck with 2 leopards, showing the significance of this animal to Somalia. The landscape of Somalia really helps the leopard. There are many grazing areas with large sparse trees. This helps with sight lines, and with little shade, animals tend to congregate near them. The significance therefore for this coin being a leopard is top-notch and brings in a solid 10. Now we must turn our attention to collectability. Any series of coin is collectible. Animal coins are collectible. Low mintages are collectible. good designs and quality minted coins are always good collectible features. Is this the most collected coin? No, it's not. But is it highly collectible to many? Yes. Yes it is, bringing this coin an 8 out of 10. Now to the final category, which is uniqueness. The front of this coin is fairly unique due to it being a national coat of arms. I do not expect Canada to feature this artwork. The leopard is a focal point, however it is not overly used or unique. I actually have a video over a leopard coin that has already been done and scored an elite status, which looks like this, and I recommend you check that out. This being said, the uniqueness of this coin still holds a 9, which brings our total to 49 out of 60. In closing, this is as close to an elite coin as you can get. The low mintage is the thing that really sticks out to me. Another item that comes to mind is that with the instability of Somalia, it is entirely possible that in a generation, this country could be under new leadership and have a different name. The Somalian silver may be a thing of the past, making the value of this coin go up. This leopard is now the second highest scoring of my African coins. The leopard of Ghana shattered the elite coin status with a 53, but this leopard beat its rival Somali coin in the elephant by 1 point. This is a coin that I would absolutely invest in again and think that every collector should at least consider this coin for their collection or stack. Thank you for watching, and as always, please stay classy and current with the culture of currency.